Extraordinary cricket.
England and Wales will this summer host the ICC Champions Trophy. Potential to beat anyone. Their captain Mashraf Mortaza, who recently retired from T20, will be desperate to improve a poor Champions Trophy record. In recent times, Bangladesh have shown some great form that has seen them thrust their way into the world's top 8, earning them a place in the Champions Trophy at the expense of the West Indies.
I'm very close to the cricket in Bangladesh. Made rapid strides, there's no doubt. We competed with India in the one-off test in Hyderabad. They'll have to play well. Somebody has to stand up and take the responsibility. Who's going to bat 50 overs and get runs for the bowlers?
Bangladesh are clearly going to be the weakest of the 4 teams in that group. Not because they're a weak team, but because it's being played in English conditions away from home. Bangladesh are a very strong one-day side at home, but I think they find non-subcontinent conditions a bit more of a challenge, and that's certainly what they'll find in England in June. So I think it'll be a tough test for them, but they've still got 1 or 2 players who can produce magic.
They got a good experienced batsman now. Tamim Iqbal, he's playing well. Shakib there, Mushfiqur Rahim there, Mahmoodullah, they're all experienced now. Shabir coming in and performing.
Well, Tamim Iqbal at the top of the order is a real threat for Bangladesh. He can get the innings off to a good start. He can really set the tempo and push opponents onto the back foot. And he's also developed that consistency which maybe he didn't have earlier in his career.
That's an excellent shot from Tamim Iqbal, who likes getting on the front foot.
The batsmen will have to take responsibility. The likes of Tamim Iqbal, Shakib Ul Hasan, Mushfiqur, Mahmoodullah, those players will have to stand up and get big runs.
One player likely to shoulder that responsibility is Shakib Al Hasan, one of Bangladesh's top talents. His cool temperament and impressive stroke play will be crucial.
Wonderful shot from Shakib Ul Hasan.
They did well in the World Cup in Australia. They surprised a few big teams, and they did because they batted well.
They turned us over in Adelaide at the World Cup and have some really young, talented cricketers coming through.
Bowled him, full and straight. The Bangladesh Tigers have knocked the England Lions out of the World Cup. One of the greatest days in Bangladesh cricket history. One of the lowest points in English history.
Bangladesh's development probably over the last 5 to 6 years, they've shown a huge amount of consistency. I think in recent times where they've gone a string of home series wins, I think has brought them up above most of the teams, to make what's normally probably an easy game maybe 10 years ago is a seriously competitive game.
Okay, when you talk about England conditions, the edge is with England, Australia and New Zealand, but still I believe Bangladesh could be competitive there.
It's certainly going to be a weakness for Bangladesh that they're playing in really quite unfamiliar conditions. They haven't toured England for a while, and they're very probably going to have to face the moving ball, which traditionally their batsmen have struggled against. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that.
Bangladesh is playing some good cricket, and they have been very consistent, really impressed with their form, the way they are playing. One of the best fielding sides for me is in Champions Trophy is Bangladesh.
No timing on that one. It's going to carry and safely taken. Hit, he's got it. Absolutely brilliant. Here's another one for the top 10.
I don't know whether they have got the squad in them to go the distance, even to the knockouts, but as I said, they can surprise anyone. They have a decent bowling, their spinners are good, the fast bowlers run in.
They'll look to quite a decent seam bowling attack where they get some reverse swing and they have some unpredictable bowlers.
Joining the vastly experienced captain Mashraf Mortaza in the seam attack will be the young rising star Mustafizur, who has shown a lot of early promise.
Bowls him, swinging in, straight onto the stumps. Another quality delivery from Mustafizur.
Mustafizur is a wonderful bowler who's had experience in England now and has a whole range of variations, peculiar things he does with his wrist and slower balls.
Bowls him. That was a good delivery.
Steve Smith's on his way.
England, Australia and New Zealand will fancy their chances and hope that they can all beat Bangladesh, and it'll be a shootout between the three of them. If Bangladesh manage to spring a surprise early on in that group, then it just completely throws your expectations up in the air, and teams might have to just scrap their way to get out of the group.
With such a fine line between the teams in Group A, the outcome is... With the clock fast ticking towards the first ball of the tournament, this year's victor is tougher to call than any other. And with every team now covered, one question still remains. Who are your champions?
That's $1 million question.
England. England will win.
Australia.
Because it's in England and I'm English.
Because of the world-class players that we have.
The last time it was played in England, India won it.
I'm going to say South Africa to win it.
Anyone out of these four could win.
South Africa are very good. England are going to be good at home. New Zealand obviously got quality bowling attack.
There's a Pakistani, I would like Pakistan to win it, but it appears it's quite tough. But I think either it's India or England.
England and Australia have a better chance than any other countries.
India on their day, Sri Lanka, they can all win it. It's just who plays well under pressure day in, day out.
South Africa looks always good, but they couldn't finish it every time.
New Zealand's cricketing depth right now is probably the best I've ever seen it.
I think England, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa.
South Africa will have to surely win a big event soon. They've got too much talent.
Australia in those big tournaments always seem to produce the goods no matter how strong or weak they are.
England right now are playing some incredible one-day cricket. I really like the look of their squad, young, exuberant, multi-talented.
Even the likes of Pakistan, India, anybody can pull these victories off.
India will always play great one-day cricket. That's just they're brought up playing shorter forms of the game.
South Africa will be good because they've been in terrific form.
New Zealand, you got Pakistan, India. India, they won it here last time.
Depends how Sri Lanka plays, Pakistan plays, but Pakistan's a bit hot and cold.
It's going to be competitive. There's a whole group of teams now that are very even.
It's so hard to predict a winner in these tournaments.
There's always a dark horse that comes through.
You have to be performing at your best right from the start.
There's no one that's really dominating any form of the game.
The scores are going up, the skills are increasing, and I think the Champions Trophy is going to be huge.